friend Chad came up to me the other day and he said, "Liz, we've been friends for a long time. You're a pretty awesome person, and you're smoking hot. I'm not really looking for a girlfriend, but what would you say to becoming friends with benefits?" To which I replied, "Do you mean like Sam's Club?" No, that is not what he meant. I looked it up on the interweb, and do you know what that is? It's boys and girls having sex without the cuddling. Who does that? Apparently lots of people. The March 2009 College Student Journal says that on some college campuses, the number of students involved in friends with benefits relationships is 60%. This type of relationship occurs in both hetero and homosexual contexts and is defined as sexual activity in a non-romantic friendship. Okay, it sounds like a good time, right? Sex, friends, no commitment. You're thinking, I gotta get me one of those. You are wrong! Thesis statement. The entire concept of friends with benefits undermines the fabric of mature relationships and can lead to problems ranging from angst to bedwetting to cancer to death. Okay, it doesn't cause bedwetting. So today, we will discuss the causes, the effects, and the solutions of being more than just friends. Times sure have changed. No one ever would have asked your great-grandmother to be friends with benefits. But then I hear your great-grandmother was kind of a bitch. Two things have caused this societal shift. One, technosexuality, and two, lack of a script for cross-sex friendships. So first, technosexuality. No, this is not sex with machines. That doesn't really involve friends. Just benefits. And batteries. A November 3rd, 2008 PsychCentral.com article says that the people most likely to be involved in this type of relationship are younger adults who are exploring their sexuality. We younger adults belong to the technosexual generation. We understand the technical aspects of intercourse and use that knowledge to have casual, no-strings sex. Well, maybe some strings, if you're into that. We are continually exposed to sex. Exposed. Magazines like Cosmo and talk shows like Dr. Drew spell out exactly what to do and how to do it. But sex is more than just tab A goes into slot B, repeat. This emphasis on the technical allows us to dismiss intercourse as just sex and further the disconnect between the emotional and the physical. Technology intensifies this disconnect. Facebook offers over 500 groups dedicated to friends with benefits, as opposed to the solitary group entitled Friends Without Benefits. It had one member, Megan Ward. If you're out there, stay strong. The second cause for this phenomenon is our lack of a script for cross-sex friendships. Cultural scripts contain the guidelines of how to behave in a given situation. The November 10th, 2008 USA Today says that all friendships, even same-sex ones, have ambiguous and changing boundaries. We specifically lack a cultural script for platonic friendship, so much like freshman interpreters, we pick up whatever script is lying around. Just about every television show has some best friends getting busy. Think Scrubs, Eddie and Elliot. Think Friends, Ross and Rachel. And think Teletubbies, Tinky Winky and Lala. They were totally knocking fuzzballs. Finally, the November 10th, 2008 USA Today says that people are getting married later, so they don't want to commit too early or invest too much time in a relationship, but they do want to have sex, hence friends with benefits. Benefits. When I think benefits, I think frequent flyer miles, 401ks, and a mint on the pillow. This is not what Chad had in mind. Effects. Much like the number of Chad's testicles that I had to kick in order to get him to stop from nuzzling my ear, there are two. One, interpersonal damage, and two, personal damage. Okay? Interpersonal damage. 1/4 of all FWB relationships end the friendship entirely, according to the 2009 Archives of Sexual Behavior. According to the April 12th, 2007 Toronto Sun, and I know what you're thinking, 2007? That's like 2 whole years ago, but you have to remember, this is Toronto, so it's on Canadian Standard Time. It works out to something like June 13th, 2012. I think it's some kind of metric thing. Anyway, this perfectly valid source states, More often than not, one person is getting all the benefits, and the other person is just setting themselves up for disappointment. Let's face it, one person secretly wants roses and Paris and marriage and babies, and the other person has a penis. And even more than interpersonal damage, this type of relationship causes personal damage. Aside from the song they taught us all in health class, sing along if you know it. Hepatitis, syphilis, gonorrhea, herpes, AIDS, warts, and chlamydia, and pregnancy. Guess that was just my health class. Thanks, Sister Mary Letitia. November 3rd, 2008, USA Today says that when you're willing to rationalize this type of relationship as healthy and harmless, you undermine your sense of self-worth and are left feeling that you don't deserve a real relationship, and then you find yourself alone in the Happy Golden Acres retirement home in northern Florida, sucking down prune juice and vodka and bitching about the imaginary kids who never come to visit. The April 2008 Journal of Sexual Medicine says that during sex, both males and females release oxytocin, a bonding chemical which promotes feelings of connection and love. We have emotional bonds with our friends already, and having sex with them only intensifies and deepens this bond, leaving us devastated if things don't work out, which is sad. So we need solutions. Solutions! Much like the number of testicles that Chuck Norris has, there are 3. Big Nut Chuck would say, 1. Don't sleep with your friends. 2. Realize that sex is both physical and emotional. And 3. Don't be afraid to emotionally invest. So first, don't sleep with your friends. CNN.com of January 23rd, 2009 says that 83% of people believe that cross-gender friendships can exist, and suggests that you be honest with one another and create boundaries. I suggest that you join Megan's group. And also, I have written you a new script. If your best friend comes up to you and says, I think we should be friends with benefits, you say, no! If an LOL cat comes up to you and says, and Ken has benefits, you say, no. Frowny face emoticon. And if Matt Damon comes up to you and says, Liz, I think we should, okay, let's go. I don't want to be Matt Damon's friend. Second, realize that sex is both physical and emotional. Sex is not, as the Observer states, a game of squash. If it is, you're doing it wrong. Sex is not just about the mushing and the rubbing and the squashing. It's about emotion and connection and all that feelings crap. Finally, don't be afraid to emotionally invest in a relationship, even if it means you might get hurt. But don't financially invest in a relationship, because that is called prostitution, apparently. The March 27th, 2008 Canadian Globe and Mail states, it's impossible to maintain a healthy, casual sexual relationship. You can't treat people casually. People are deep, sensitive, and needy. Go for it and get hurt or hurt someone else. That's life. They're right. If you want to be fulfilled and happy, you can't have a series of one-night stands with your best friend. You have to find something real. So today, we've discussed the causes, the effects, and the solutions of FWBs. We have learned that while jumping into the sack with your bosom buddy may seem like a good idea at the time, it's just going to lead to heartbreak. And this is exactly what I told Chad as I politely shoved him away from my own bosom. I said to him, look, Chad. Chad's really short. I care about you, and I think you're a really great person, but I really think we should just be friends. Because after all, friendship, that's the ultimate benefit.